Yo, shalom. All praises to the Most High. Yehovah Yehoshua. This is Chris Holy Man FX. So, are we really caught up in frequencies? Or are we caught up in frequencies to a point where we've been deceived, or we don't understand the true concept of frequencies compared, like, far as when we start talking about like how something sound? Do it sound good, like a microphone, some mixing headphones, or some studio monitors? We'd be like, yo, these Jones is dope. Man, these things is hard right here because, the frequencies of the speakers, they got like little highs on them and everything. And I like these, but see, these monitors right here, they got too many lows on them and shit like that, right? Are we too much caught up in that? Because everything has a frequency. Like right now, like if you just go drop some vocals in the audio file in right now in your DAW, it's gonna show the frequencies of that sample, right? So let me see if I got my thing check if I want to play a sound right quick. Give me 1 second. It's not in. I can't do it. I can't play it. Right. I should have brought it in from the beginning. Right. So every sound and sample has its own frequencies. So we always known that this is the frequencies of what music can fit in. So all your music that you mix and create, it only can fit in between the far left right here and all the way to the far right, right? And you gotta change the frequencies of each instrument and sound to fit in that frequency. So regardless of the frequency of your microphone and what how it make your vocals sound, you still have to shape the vocals to fit the music, right? Even when you listen to headphones and you want them to be a certain frequency. They say that I guess the most flat sound when it comes to mixing headphones to give you the true sound, right? But they all frequency the same way. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about, because what I did, I grabbed, I got a few different microphones, but I got one of my favorite ones, the PreSonus PX1 microphone, that I put in competition with every mic that I buy. So what I do, I buy a new mic or different ones, and I put it to the test with that one. But that one always win, and I always send the other one back, right? So this been knocking a lot of mics out for a minute. You be honest with you. That's the PreSonus PX1. I'm gonna show y'all. So okay, let me show y'all this right quick. So let's go to this browser, right? So right now I got the Sony 7506's headphones, right? And what I want to show y'all is that, hold on, this is the Sony MDR. Do they got the image on here? Sony MDR headphones, which I got, now not these, but my mixing headphones and my other ones. This is the frequency of the signature with bass roll off and some treble peaks and measure. But let's go to hold on. I had it up here. Hold on. Tripping. Let me see some real. It might be the one though. I could be wrong. Where's the one that might be the one though. I want to make sure. Yeah, I think that's the one. Okay, yeah, that's the one. All right, so anyway, let's deal with this right quick. So as you can see, the Sony 7506 no EQ score, but it's a frequency. The headphones in its own frequency, right? So if you listen to something, like, okay, where it got too much highs, then you turn down the highs to make it more subtle in the music. The frequencies tell you what's the issue and what's not the issue. Sometimes it's by looking at the graph. Yeah, I know we gotta go by our ears too, but we are listening with our ears regardless. That's what I am. I can look at something, but I'm still hearing it. I still gotta listen to it. It's not like you can look at it and not hear what you're dealing with. That's how my mind process everything. But I'm good at visual and listening at the same time. So it's frequencies. It's in the same. It's in its own frequency. And different headphones have different frequencies. Some got more mid, some more bass, and everything. So the point is, you got to learn those headphones. Now, you do want some headphones, mixing headphones to let you hear the issue. Now, some headphones can be in a certain frequency where you can't hear the issue. That's why I like what frequencies is boost right here. Because when you really hear something distorted, you're going to know it don't sound right. The Sony 756 is going to let you know when you have a problem. And it won't sound right to your ears. When you hear it in the headphones, that's really the problem. Now, check this out. So I got the PreSonus Aries E8. These are my studio monitors. These are the frequencies of these monitors. Right? So you got to learn them. You got to learn them on the regular basic settings, what these frequencies stand at, right? How much they bump and how much they thump from the beginning. And once you learn that, you understand that every studio monitor has different frequencies. So it's all about what you're going to change, or do you know like what you're really dealing with when you listen to your stuff, right? Let's keep going. One of my favorite microphones that I bought by the PreSonus, the PX1. I was telling y'all, this is the frequencies of that microphone, as you can see right here. The nice microphone. I don't put it up against a lot of expensive Jones I bought. This still beat them, straight up. That's why I still got it. And every once in a while, I buy a new microphone just to test it to see which one is better. And if the other one's better, then I move that one out the way. Right? Hell, sometimes I sell it. But this is the frequencies of that. And again, it goes back to my point. Everything has a frequency, y'all. You just got to know when to cut it and get everything to fit in the frequencies of the music. So the more vocals you have, you got to find ways to fit those frequencies, those ad-libs in a certain spot, and those overdubs in a certain spot, the lead vocals in a certain spot. You got to space things, open things up, right? That's the very important part, man. I think we caught up too much about, I like these headphones because, they got a little more highs in them and shit like that. Like, I mean, from my experience, a lot of the times, once I learn how they sound, I know what I'm dealing with. Right? And then I played on other stuff. I learned what I'm dealing with and I played on other stuff. That's the whole key right there. Right? So again, like, keep that in mind. Everything is in different frequencies. Everything, headphones, studio monitors, microphones, all have different frequencies. It's all about, is it annoying to the ear to you when you listening to it? That's the key thing right there. I hope y'all understand what I'm talking about with this message right quick, man. When it comes to this type of stuff, don't get so caught up in the hype with stuff. You got to find out and test it yourself. Spin your bread, test it out yourself, man. That's the best teacher when you experience it yourself. Yo, shalom.